The Backrooms. A place once horrifying and liminal, now another shameless monster be chasing you environment. From the creative minds that brought you the I dropped a chicken on my member and the Lola Bunny room comes a place that looks the way Aphex Twin ambient music sounds. Petrifying. This concept was once unnerving and familiar since many of us experience places like this, but the internet has its way of taking something great and making it doo-doo. The great thing about the original 4chan post was that it was a different kind of horror. Not completely unique, but something that was refreshing when most horror was just a jump scare or a chase. The idea that you could clip through reality randomly and be stuck in an infinite backroom, if you so please. There is no escape. There is no one else. You are going to die, starving and alone. There's also the vague suggestion that you are not alone in this place, but that's as far as it got. It creates an atmosphere most awful. You remember back in high school when you learned that if you hit an object just right, you could move between the atoms? You would basically end up here if you're not careful. This concept is very simple, yet very effective. When the post was first made, the thought of ending up here was pure nightmare fuel, because it somehow felt realistic. That mainly comes from the fact that we've all been to a place that looks like the original Backrooms image. And because the concept was so simplistic, you could expand upon it in so many ways. If you're a certified yunk, you might remember the very early days of the SCP Foundation, another simple horror concept with bigger implications. People were collaborating and expanding upon this idea together, very similar to what happened with the Backrooms. Fast forward 6 or so years, and now you have to check the wiki to figure out what monster is trying to touch you this very moment. Freaky style. Is it the spooky squiggler? He squiggles at you, by the way. Or is it the spooky smiler? He smiles at you, by the way. Maybe a little Helen Keller action? Make sure to hide in those cubbies. What about a nice refreshing almond water to restore your sanity? This is all lame. I don't know if this is the right phrase to use, but what happened to the Backrooms is the same thing that happened to many things that become popular. It's just a flash in the pan. The Backrooms had the unfortunate privilege of blowing TF up. I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, but the Backrooms becoming popular was made dull because so many people took notice of it, and felt like their art degree from Rhode Island was enough to expand upon it in a positive way. The Backrooms is becoming another piece in the larger mascot horror genre. You know, your bonbons, your FNAFs, your poppies, your bendies. The concept went from unique to drivel. It wouldn't shock me if there were Backrooms backpacks and lunchboxes now. Good luck finding your books in this. Some iterations of Backrooms content involve they're watching us BS, which is just so lame and dull. Like you took an incredibly horrifying concept and made it everything that came before. A large part of this is Kane Pixel's fault. He's an insanely talented dude, but writing-wise, it's kinda... His videos are incredibly well done, it's no wonder why they blew up and got so popular. However, these videos also injected a lot of aspects into the Backrooms that made it dull and weak. And I think he's even aware of this too, as seen in his oldest view video.
This is literally like the Backrooms from TikTok.
We got vague writing on the walls, we got shady organization, and a monster. So spooky. What the Backrooms is now is completely inseparable from what Kane Pixels made it. And for better or for worse, this is the Backrooms we have now. Layers and monsters and Roblox maps. Now, there is some incredible Backrooms entertainment that is wonderful. My friends and I played Escape Backrooms together, and that was a really fun and enjoyable time. I don't want to knock on content like this the same way I don't want to knock on Kane Pixels videos, because he didn't make it with the intention of it being the canon. He just made something that was creepy and atmospheric in the best way he could. However, as fun as the videos and games are, this is so far removed from what the Backrooms originally were. To be fair though, having a game where you just starve to death and walk around forever doesn't seem that fun. Just play DayZ. Hell, American Horror Story is now adding to the canon by doing something extreme, adding Italians. May the Lord have mercy on us. One of the coolest things in this cesspit known as the internet is seeing people collaborate together on something. It's wonderful watching something organically grow from a simple concept to a full-blown wiki page or YouTube series or video games. I love seeing people express their creativity in things like this. By some weird twist of fate, the Backrooms became popular around the same time that liminal spaces became popular. These two ideas are meshed together to the point where the Backrooms encompasses all sorts of liminal spaces within it. My favorite favorites being the infinite pools and infinite malls. The pool rooms were actually an art series created by Jared Pike. His ideas were transformed into another layer for the Backrooms, and is easily the best layer and addition to the lore, in my opinion. On one hand, it's really cool that other liminal spaces and ideas are combined into the Backrooms to create something new. On the other hand, the Backrooms has become insanely lame now, which means that works like Jared Pike's dream pools are now bogged down by being attached to the Backrooms image. When people see something like this, they think of the Backrooms instead of getting lost in the imaginary world created by Jared Pike. What also sucks about this is that the original dream pools aren't even that creepy. They're way more relaxing and tranquil in my opinion. The vibes are immaculate. The only really eerie thing about the dream pools is that we got these foreboding dark corners, and that's about it. But because it was attached to the Backrooms, it now has to be creepy with a weird snake monster chasing you. And you could say this about all liminal spaces. I don't think liminal spaces are intended to be this creepy and mysterious thing. They all just had this weird melancholy familiarity to them. But that feeling is completely gone now because we got Dwayne the Walk Nextbots chasing you. I feel like this is a direct effect of the Backrooms becoming so popular. I like seeing the internet utilize so many different creative pieces to further something along or to inspire something new. But even though it is nice to see the growth of the Backrooms, I still think it went in a direction that is not to my liking. It's not bad, it's just stereotypical. There is this fear within me, an evil within too, if you will, that something else will come along. Something as popular as the Backrooms, and I fear that it's going to share the same fate as the Backrooms.
I'm afraid.
Backrooms. Great initial concept, bogged down by tiresome additions that do more harm than good. Who knows what the next thing will be? Maybe the infinite goon cave. You, yes you there on your Samsung Galaxy S9, hand-cupping balls and all, are probably wondering how I would go about making the Backrooms better. I wouldn't. The original concept is wonderful as it is. It's short, horrifying, mysterious, and familiar. Answers to this mystery as to what the place is, what is chasing you, and if it's truly infinite are unnecessary. The answers each individual person comes up with will all be infinitely more interesting than any concrete canon gives you. While the monsters and soy are considered canon, what is great about this is that it's also not. You and I can take the Backrooms in any direction we want, be it monsters or Italians or not changing it at all. We're all free to manipulate it in any direction we'd like. It's just a shame that the most popular ideas are also the ones that are the most dull and lifeless. I would love to see the Backrooms taken in a new direction, maybe something more surreal and less mascot horror-like. We don't need no squigglies or smileys or Italians, just something more unique. Also, why are we in hazmat suits? Has anyone tried not wearing one? Do we know for certain the air isn't breathable? What happens if you fart? What then?